So recently I just finished watching How I Met Your Mother, and while we could talk about the finale in a different video, I wanted to talk about something that I thought was really interesting while watching the show and just wondered why I was just fell in love with the show so much. It really came from the fact of, like, when I started watching it, I was telling my sisters, I'm like, oh, this is great. And like, yeah, we've tried to watch it and we didn't really get into it. And I was thinking about why that's the case. Now, one of them are 18, so technically she's an adult, but for the most part, they're still kids. And so it got me thinking about why sitcoms just really hits different with adults. So I'm going to talk about that today. Sitcoms as a kid would be something that you would watch and you would laugh and it would be funny and there's these jokes. But when you get older, so many stuff hits different. Eventually I'm probably going to watch Friends and see what's the hype behind that one. But watching How I Met Your Mother got me thinking about just friendships and just friends and the idea of this fantasy. Everyone stays friends. That's really what hits with sitcoms for adults. It's this ideal life as an adult. As a kid, you watch a sitcom and you're like, I can't wait until I'm an adult and I can be like these people. As an adult, you watch it and you feel like, I wish I could live that life. I wish I could have that. But it also has hints of reality hidden in there. It gives you an escape into a world that is better. Not perfect, and that's a big thing. I think that's what makes sitcoms so great for adults, is that it's not an escape completely. You still have, the ending of the series, for all its problems. The moment where Robin is saying, the reason why I don't like coming around as much is, okay, so the group is now a soon-to-be married couple that's gone on their third kid, Lily and Marshall, and then her ex-husband. But the point is, she was saying that I don't feel like I fit in this group anymore. That is a hit of reality. And there are plenty of other moments like that. It also gives that escape. Friends, for the most part, always sticks around. There's always some time you can hang out with people. Problems get resolved easily. By the end of the episode, everything's fine. You can turn, the truth is you can turn an episode of a sitcom on at the end of a long day and just watch, laugh, have those hints of reality just sprinkled in there that makes it just so much more real. Ted, as a kid, he's the bumbling idiot. He's this overly romantic guy who's just constantly chasing after someone new. As an adult, he's super relatable, especially for someone like me. I relate to him a lot. That feeling of, when is my time coming? I see my friends going off and getting married or going off and dating people. I've never done that. I've never found someone. I've never been anything to anyone. Not to try to make it sound depressing. I think there's plenty of other people in my same category. And having someone like Ted, that the first episode is, he's feeling like, I want to find my one. The whole series is him trying to find the mother. And in the same episode, his best friend's getting engaged. That hits hard for so many people. But it's also pushed in with these little inside jokes of the slap bet and all this different stuff that makes it humorous. You can laugh and joke around with these people, but then in the same way, there's also that hint of just, unlike with a drama, I personally think stuff like Grimm or Arrow are better, even with those dramas, even those where it has funny moments, but for the most part, it's a serious show. Even with those, it is not the same as a sitcom. When a sitcom, you get that feeling of that there is the reality that you get from those other shows too. But then there's also just but now let's play it off quickly and have this joke. They push these hard realities at you, but then but now let's put a joke here to lighten it up. You may be wondering for years where you're going to find your one. But then, hey, here's this joke. Marshall and Lily, the perfect couple. At the end of the first season, they break up. That's a really sad reality. But then it allows you to dwell on that while also being like, but let's throw in some jokes here. Let's lighten up the mood a little bit. Let's allow Marshall to laugh. Let's allow Lily to laugh. There's crying, but there's also plenty of laughs. The other big thing is that in the end, Ted does meet the one. He meets Tracy. He meets the mother. It's that feeling of, okay, for 11 seasons, you're building up to, when is she going to come? When is that one going to come for me? You feel that. Every adult probably has that time so they feel that. And having that, for 10 seasons, he never met her. 10 seasons is maybe a little bit too long of not knowing her. Again, there are problems with this series. Still have that happy ending somewhat in the end. Somewhat they destroy in the finale, but in the same way, you still have that feeling of he does meet the one in the end. It doesn't end, a drama or something like that might end with just, they break up, they everything's bad in the end. Well, in the end of a show like that, no, it does come to a happy ending because somewhat that's where it's supposed to be. People move on, life changes, but in the same way, a show like this says, but you can still hold on to some. You can still hold on to some of these ideas that you might keep friends. And I just really just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to make a quick video just talking about that. And the fact that what is it about sitcoms that hits for adults? Like, what is it? It's really, come to sum it up, it really has to do with just that balance of reality and humor. Where it takes reality and softens it to a place where you can enjoy it, while also being like, yeah, but also, I know what that feels like. Those times where you're worried that your friends are going to disappear, The one episode where Robin reunites with her best friend from when she was in high school, and having that moment of her being like, yeah, they don't hate each other. She had a kid, and so they moved on. It's like, that is reality. There are so many times that happens to people, and being able to be like, yeah, that's just true. It's not that kids can't pick up on this stuff in sitcoms too, but it does. I'm just saying, it hits different for adults. That layers of just the reality of what it is to be an adult that's in sitcoms more than in other fantasies or other series like that. Like, a sitcom is a chance to see reality from the lens of a good place. See reality, and just, it's not that everything is perfect in a sitcom, but it's that everything works out in the end. Gives you the idea of push through it. Am I personally a big sitcom person? No. I prefer Grimm. I prefer series dramas like that. In the same way, I did watch How I Met Your Mother all the way through, and I was addicted to it for those couple months I watched it. I binged it, basically. So anyways, tell me your thoughts. Do you agree with this? Again, it's a weird video to make suddenly, but this is what I'm doing now on this channel. I'm making videos I enjoy. And so, here it is. Tell me your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Movie Night Reviewer, Peter Way, signing off.